family and friends who came to support her today. That's awesome to see. Welcome to Valley View School. I will say that I've been telling Adriane for a couple of years, like, wow, you have such a cool life. She has done some really interesting things, from traveling to Japan twice in the past couple of years, to being in theater productions, to doing some really interesting projects on interesting subjects, including her senior project, which is expression through fashion. And so today you will be involved in an interactive event, including Adriane's senior presentation and an activity. Take it away, Adriane.
Okay. For as long as I've been at VNS, I've always had a mental list of potential senior projects. My freshman year, I was sure I was going to do a project on creating and writing a cartoon from scratch. Sophomore year, I was thinking to do it based off of film studies. Junior year, after a trip abroad to Japan, as well as taking 2 e-school courses in Japanese, I became really invested in both the language and the country, and was considering a senior project on foreign language studies or on the Japanese language, as well as potentially going to a 4-year college to study Japanese. Academic-wise, I feel like other than art, foreign language has always been a strong suit for me for as long as I can remember. Ultimately, I knew that I wanted my senior project to be something to do with art or language. My idea for this topic was from watching a YouTube video about the movie Mean Girls and analyzing the outfits. The video explained how the journey of the 5 main characters, Katie, Regina, Janice, Gretchen, and Karen, had been reflected through their wardrobe and how it had been constantly evolving throughout the movie. After watching that video, I felt like I had gained a different perspective and was able to see the gradual changes in the style of a character in a TV show or movie. Another contributing factor to my senior project idea was from one of my 6-week projects from my junior year, Japanese street fashion. I went into this project with the idea that I was going to go surface level and just research different subcultures of Japanese fashion and how Harajuku became a district in Shibuya. Throughout the project, I was able to learn how many J-fashion subcultures, namely gyaru, ditched traditional Japanese beauty standards and instead went for an over-the-top look. Unknowingly, within the research phase of this project, I ended up going down a rabbit hole on how Harajuku, formerly known as Washington Heights, was a part of Japan's attempt to redeem themselves for the atrocities they'd partaken in during the 2 Sino-Japanese wars in World War II, such as, and not limited to, joining forces with Nazi Germany and taking control of China, Korea, the Philippines, Guam, and Thailand. Being aware of all of this, I had fleshed out a more polished idea of what I wanted to look into for my senior project. The biggest takeaway was that, just like any art form, fashion is used as a form of expression and is able to communicate a story, reflect a country's political climate, or be used as a form of protest. Social attitudes, political movements, and even economic conditions are all interwoven into the way people dress and present themselves. Believe it or not, fashion trends are not just started based on the fashion industry alone, but are a reflection of the situation and society we currently live in. For example, back in 2020 during the pandemic, the demand for loungewear and activewear skyrocketed. Due to the high demand for clothing that fell under this category, Nike became the hottest brand in the world in 2020. The first time a luxury brand had not taken the top spot on the list index of top fashion brands. Fashion reflecting the economic state is not a new thing. In fact, it dates back as far back to the early 1920s, when flapper girl fashion was in its prime. But when the stock market crashed in 1929, skirt lengths extended to calf length. This change is known as the hemline theory. The hemline theory suggests that when the financial market is flourishing, skirt lengths get shorter. However, when the economy crashes, skirt lengths extend further down. While there is no solid explanation as to why skirt lengths extend or shorten depending on the state of the economy. Theories suggest that when the economy is doing well, people generally feel more optimistic and bold, which can show up in fashion as more revealing or experimental styles. When the economy crashes, people tend to feel more uncertain or conservative, and that can translate into longer, more modest clothing. Even basic articles of clothing have a socioeconomic backstory behind them. For nearly 200 years, denim overalls symbolized hard toil in factories and the fields. Denim technology originated in 18th century France as workwear which differentiated manual labor workers from the upper class and spread to America, Australia, and other European countries. Denim production skyrocketed in the 19th century amongst farmers, miners, and former slaves. In the 1920s, denim was worn to protest the high cost of living. Because denim was traditionally worn by working class laborers, wearing it became a way for people to show solidarity with those struggling financially and reject expensive upper class fashion. Denim overalls had also been reclaimed in the 1960s during the civil rights movement, something that was once seen as a memory of enslavement to a symbol of resistance. T-shirts are another example of how clothing have an economic backstory. Similar to denim apparel, T-shirts also have a history of originating from working class groups, as originally used as an underlayer for soldiers. In the 20th century, the T-shirt seeped into casual everyday wear, as it was a versatile clothing item. Not only did it serve as casual everyday wear, but could get a message across when used for protesting, and could be best described as a walking billboard. For how basic a clothing item these are, they sure have a rich history to them. Unlike many traditional art forms that are found in galleries, screens, or pages, fashion transforms protest into something immediate, allowing people to wear their beliefs publicly and challenge societal expectations in everyday life. A perfect example as to how clothing was used as a form of protest was during the civil rights movement in the 1960s. While Martin Luther King Jr. was giving speeches at Washington, D.C., many African Americans wore formal wear on the regular as a form of protest to combat the racist ideologies the general public had of Black people being lazy and unprofessional. The entire look was to dress in their Sunday best. Black women dressed modestly, wearing cardigans paired with long skirts and completing the look with an updo hairstyle or straightened hair. Black men also wore suits. However, the taboo thing about this fashion statement, one could argue, was that a lot of these played into Eurocentric beauty standards, as the whole look was more a statement of conformity rather than resistance. The best dressed look wasn't the only protest fashion amongst the Black community during the civil rights movement, which brings us to the Black Panther Party, formed in 1966 by college students Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale in Oakland, California. The Black Panther Party was an organization that promoted Black power, socialism, and defense against police brutality. Over the course of time, the Black Panthers adopted their own uniform. Unlike the mainstream fashion statement of dressing formally, the Black Panthers uniform focused on standing out rather than conforming, challenging expectations and white beauty standards. A perfect example as to how the Black Panthers stood up against white expectations was embracing their natural hair texture. At the time, Black people were usually discouraged from wearing their natural hair as it was deemed as unprofessional and lowered their chances of employment. Members of the Black Panther Party pinned buttons on berets, jackets, or pants to get a message directly across with phrases on them like "free all political prisoners." In addition, Newton and Seale were inspired to adopt the beret as a part of their uniform after seeing French resistance fighters during World War II wear berets. Because of the anti-police brutality ideologies that the Black Panther Party had, they thought the beret would be the perfect addition to their uniform. As the Black Panther Party garnered more attention, this meant that they were constantly under surveillance. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover called the Black Panther Party the greatest threat to internal security of the country. In response to this, they used sunglasses to conceal their identity. Many people in the Black Panther Party carried a firearm at all times to defend themselves, as they were the main target for police brutality. Another recognizable element of the Black Panther uniform was a leather jacket. Unlike the rest of the Black Panther uniform, the jacket wasn't as symbolic as the rest of it was, but it was more of a fashion choice and was easily accessible by many. Both men and women in the Black Panther Society Party wore leather jackets, but in some cases were seen as more masculine and didn't represent the women in the society. The Black Panther Party's uniform reflected what was actively happening to them. The Black Panther Party was not the only group of people who used clothing as a form of protest in the 20th century. As the United States gradually got more involved in the Vietnam War, people started to question the ethics of the recruitment of soldiers. From August 1964 and February 1973, over 1.8 million men had served in the Vietnam War, and only 2/3 of those men were volunteers. In response to this, a group of students in Iowa wore black armbands with peace symbols on them as an act of peaceful protest. In Western culture, black armbands have been used to represent the mourning of a comrade, family member, friend, etc., and were used to represent the mourning of the dead in both the Civil War and the Vietnam War. In the Des Moines Independent Community School District, they had banned black armbands on December 14, 1965 to prevent a planned student protest against the Vietnam War. Mary Beth Tinker and her brother John Tinker, along with a few other students, wore the armbands regardless if they were banned or not, and got suspended until they would willingly go back to school without the armbands. After their suspension, they returned without their armbands, but instead dressed in all black for the rest of the school year. Obviously, deep statements have been made by groups of people about their society by their clothing choices. Just as clothing has been used throughout history to communicate political and social messages, costume design and entertainment uses fashion in a similar way to visually tell a story and communicate deeper meaning to audiences. Costume choice also makes huge statements in the entertainment industry. Just as any type of visual art, there are a wide variety of elements to creating a memorable visual in visual storytelling. One of them being costumes and clothing. Whether it be a movie or theater production, outfits are so important and are often overlooked as to how influential they are within a story and fashion trends. The outfit of a character has the ability to make a character instantly recognizable or can be a trendsetter. In order to make this happen, there are a few elements that need to be taken into consideration when designing costumes. Some of the main few are color, time period, the character's personality, and cultural context. The costumes must align with the specific time and year the story is set in, not just to stay cohesive, but to maintain realism. Color specifically plays a huge role in any form of visual art. Color theory isn't just about looks, but has a neurological impact as every color represents a different meaning. And color not only makes a visual aesthetically pleasing, but also creates cohesion and contrast. For example, in Kill Bill, Uma Thurman's character wears a bright yellow tracksuit, which makes her stand out in her fight scenes. Inspired by Bruce Lee's film Game of Death, the bright yellow was chosen by Bruce Lee because he liked the way the black footprints showed up on a yellow canvas. Action and slasher movies, like these two right here, prefer to use lighter colored costumes for contrast with blood, as it shows up better on colors like white and yellow. Although color plays an important part, it can't work alone in costume design. In addition to color, the design of the outfit plays an important part. The shape and structure can suggest a character's status, confidence, and personality before they speak. I want to talk about HBO's hit show Euphoria, a perfect example of smart and memorable costume design in modern television. utilizing color for its visuals and undeniably being the blueprint for most 2019 fashion trends. I would like to specifically talk about the four main girls: Rue Bennett, Jules Vaughn, Maddie Perez, and Cassie Howard. Their wardrobe throughout season one and how it reflects their story. Trigger warning, I'm just like very briefly gonna mention like use of drugs, so if that bothers you, just step out, I guess. Um, Together, these four wardrobes show how fashion and makeup in Euphoria act as visual language. E- Each girl uses clothing and makeup differently. Compared to the rest of her friends, Rue's appearance isn't as put together, as established early on that she struggles with drug addiction, depression, and other mental health disorders. Her makeup and outfits reflect this, as she's more frequently than not seen wearing baggy clothing, and on the occasion when she does wear makeup, it's more smudged and messy compared to the other girls' makeup. Jules's wardrobe is expressive and playful, incorporating fantasy and femininity with bright colors, fun prints, and bold makeup. Her color palette consists of pastel colors to highlight her youthful nature and desire to escape from reality and reinvent herself. Maddie's wardrobe reflects her confident persona through her Y2K inspired outfits, incorporating shades of purple that vary depending on her mood or who she's with. And Cassie wears pastels to highlight her naivety and struggles with her relationships with men, proving that costume design doesn't just reflect style, but deeply mirrors each character's psychological journey. Because of how much costume design in entertainment had been a driving factor for my desire to do this project, I did some of my own costuming and collaborated with Izzy for her senior project, as she was putting together and directing a play. To start the process of this, I contacted Appleton West's theater director, Miss Whittle, as she was originally going to school for costume design, but after some consideration took the route of becoming a theater director instead, as she gave more as that gave her more creative freedom. I sent her questions regarding things like what needs to be taken into consideration, how to keep costumes cohesive with the environment, and how to manage costumes with limited time and budget, as those would be the most relevant questions to ask for putting the costumes together. To start off, I did some research on the play that I would be creating costumes for. Do You Feel Anger by Mara Nelson Greenberg. Miss Whittle had touched base on this in the Q&A and said that before designing costumes for an individual character, you need to step back and take a look at the bigger picture first. So before putting together the costumes, I read through the script first. I took note of things like where does the story take place, when does it take place, the characters' ages and personality, and if there were any significant changes to a character's wardrobe or appearance described in the script. For those of you who did not see the play back in April, Do You Feel Anger follows an empathy coach, Sophia, who was hired to work with an agency under fire for the mistreatment of their female employees and instead prioritize the feelings of their male employees. Throughout the play, in her attempts to teach the men in the office, she ends up dumbing herself down to the level of her male counterparts, descending into madness in the process. After getting an understanding of the big picture, i.e., the setting of the story and plot, I shifted my focus to each individual character in the play. Due to the fact that the play itself was short, I was not able to give each character their own extensive wardrobe. However, I still wanted to give each character a costume that fit and gave them an identity. When taking a look at each individual character, the two main things I took into consideration were their age and their overall personality, and this was able to help me choose their outfits accordingly. Okay, so first off, we've got the main character, Sophia, right here. She's the empathy coach, and she's like, yeah, she is the youngest character of the play. So I wanted to like give her a more like modern office appearance. And eventually, I don't have any photos of this, but she switches over to a skirt instead of pants because at one point, like, um, her male coworkers, like the guys that she's coaching, are like, "You're not wearing a dress. You're supposed to wear a dress to like be better at work." And so again, like she just like dumbs herself down and decides, you know, I'm gonna wear a dress, well, a skirt, and okay, Jordan is this character's name. He's like buddies with Howie, which was my character. Yeah, I was in the play, and I wanted to give him like sort of like a professional, but like still kind of like dumbed down appearance because that's kind of how his character is like described in the play. He's a little bit of like both like John and Howie. John is like kind of the main guy in charge of the office, and Eva, she's the other female employee in the office, and she's kind of long gone, and she's like wearing a dress, and I kind of like wanted to symbolize, yeah, like she's long gone, like she's just not there anymore. And for a costume choice, I forgot to mention this, but I wanted all of the male characters to wear baseball caps, so then like it could be differentiated from like the women and the men in the play. So they're all wearing baseball caps. John is like more on the professional side because he's technically in charge. Because yeah, and Howie just has his own set of rules. Most of this was put together from Appleton West's costume shop, except for my outfit. That's just from my closet. Anyway, now that I've taught you about costume design and how it can tell a lot about a character and their personality, I want you guys to create your own costumes. I'm gonna hand out like little mannequin things for each of you. Okay.
Get out of here, boyo. Thank you, Naya.
Oh.
I can't help.
Give me some scissors.
Yeah, I gotta expand.
Anyway, so listen up. Okay, so what I will do is, I swear, trust me on this, I felt too lazy to put the wheels up on there because I like just realized last minute that they weren't showing up on the big screen, so I'm just gonna spin them on here. So you're gonna be given time periods, genre, and overall setting of the story. And also I give everyone permission, like one person per table can use their Chromebook to look up references if they're like stuck or whatever. Anyway, is everyone ready for me to spin the wheels? Okay, yay. Okay, for time periods, okay. The 60s. Okay, now for genre. Comedy.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I know. Guys, I know nothing
Okay, now for setting of the story. Okay. Deserted island. Okay, for the last step, everyone, listen up. Okay, every table has a number. I'll get you guys a number over there. Anyway, each table has a number for the character's costume that they'll have to be designing. And this is like kind of like a blind thing, so you don't really know what other people are creating. There's more like supplies over by that table right there. I ask that you like civilly like walk up there if you want more supplies, like one at a time, please. And y'all will be given 10 minutes to design this costume, and then the last 5 minutes you can share out. Okay, let me set the timer. Okay, go.
That's pretty good.
You guys will be number 9. It's locked in. It's locked in on this.
All right, Adriane. Get over here.
Sorry, what's up? Also, I forgot this, but here's this. If you want to refer to this.
I know nothing. Well, we could join her.
If we're gonna be on a third island, I'd say there were extras.
We're also the we're wearing some
True. Maybe a ripped.
because the bottom bit Join your group. I know what her way is. She's like, in the rush, she's like, it's too short. You know what? I cut it. I have this. Here you go. Find this. So I looked at the chart and it's like colors are it's like creativity, excitement, fun, energetic. Yeah, just let it be a ball. I have two big ones. Yes. Ready for the Oh, I think the shoes would be like right out there. I know I'm so sorry. Okay. I can look and see if we can get some more scissors. Can you find some more scissors? What the heck? I know put coconuts on the feet. We're already doing that. Coconut on the feet, guys. We need coconut. Please give us more time. We need coconut on the feet. Coconut on the feet. You gotta make it. You think there would be like a slit in the skirt? Like, give me the scissors. I mean, like, yes. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Look at those dresses We have 3 more minutes left. 3 minutes. I'll extend it to 5 more minutes, by the way. That's the
Does we have a tiny trash bag?
You got more time.
She could be bald.
Or you can grab a marker, or you can cut out hair. Yeah! Beautiful. You guys are way off now. Literally on seven. There's no difference though, right? No difference. Beautiful.
That bit's really fair. They more so just like break your abs.
Okay, why? You better cook. Oh, you better. I think I made the shirt a little too small. Too bad. You got You're so wrong.
What do you mean?
It more so looks like a bandana.
What happened after he was wrapped up. He's very sure I got this one. Wrapped up, he's so
Maybe not like
When I think of hair, my mind is like that. Nice full
Is that because he's been on an island and he's like starving and all his body fat went away? Or did he have the abs?
Kudos. This is important. That's to know. I know. It's in my head. It's in my head.
The whole time.
You know what? Okay.
They have like 2 minutes.
Fabric. I'm between.
If you want to, we can add this.
We have like 2 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
Why is it not the back? What? It's backwards.
5 seconds. Okay. Are y'all done? Anyway, so we can either do this 2 ways, where you guys just go around each other and share out, or one brave person comes up here and shares your design. One brave person? Okay. Table 1. Who wants to share their design? Okay. Veronica. Oh my god, that's so cute. That's adorable. Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
No, or maybe step up to the mic.
Okay. Let Veronica speak now.
We had the protagonist, so we chose a nice 60s dress. It's yellow. It's got some bold colors. The hair came out blue. It's really black, just pretend. We figured it was a summery vibe because, you know, deserted island. Yeah.
Okay. Great job, Veronica. Table 2. Danny, why don't you share out your design? Your table's design.
I tried to make them homeless. He got some jorts. It was like a crop top. So I think it was pretty good.
You should have. Anyway, what are you doing up here? Okay. Table 3. Who's sharing? Okay. Come up, Elsie. Yay! Yeah, clap. Okay, so.
Whoa. It's a tree.
Okay.
She has a crab on her head.
Okay.
And bandages over her eyes because she got stabbed or something.
That always happens in the 60s.
And she's also like exotic or something.
Okay, that makes sense.
And she's naked.
Oh, okay. Okay, period. Number 4. Table 4.
Quiet, everyone. All right. We obviously need the coconut bra and the coconut underwear, the coconut shoes, the weird yogurt stains, the beautiful hair. Some more beautiful hair down there. So, and really just some fabric to cover up the rest.
I think part of like a British.
Number 5. Hey, don't do that. Hey, you can go up there if you want.
Don't see me. I'm a pooper.
This
Exactly.
is Debbie.
You mean the
Yeah. Love interest. Jared. Jared. She's got
Shut up.
swimsuit right here. We've got some palm leaves. You know, like she's just like, you know, just chillaxing on this island. You know.
Yeah, and she's got some pretty cool sandals on.
Flip flops.
Yeah, and she has this beautiful flower that she found in the desert.
In the desert.
On the island.
She might be double on, but
Yeah, and I'm really excited for 60s lesbian.
yeah, because
Number 6. Who's sharing? Yay! Okay, 2 people.
Okay, so this is Jared. He's like kind of the douchey, like, trying to steal your girl character.
He looks really douchey.
He's got abs on his front and his back. He's got a crop top to show that off. Yeah.
Okay, number 7.
So we did know we weren't supposed to cut it out.
It's okay. Works either
She
way.
doesn't have a name, but we gave her these bright, fun colors to make her stand out in comparison to the narrative, probably. And we gave her this nice tight dress so she would constantly trip around on it since she's a comic relief. That'd be funny.
Number 8.
is that David?
Gave her a yellow dress and orange skirt and a yellow mohawk. She's gonna protect people. I think that reminds me of somebody. Is there a sponge person? He's on an island.
Wow.
He's next to her.
What island?
Okay. Number 9. I think that's my aunt. Woo! Hi, Auntie.
Okay. Well, her name might be Yolanda or Donna, depends on who you ask in our group. She's the trader. She's wearing purple for power, arrogance, and regal things. She, I think she was like on our folks' yacht, and like, so she was dressed up for things, and like the yacht went astray. Ended up on the deserted island. She's wearing furry boots. Not ideal for being on a deserted island, but she will do whatever it takes to get what she needs in her best interest. So she is a trader.
Sit down. Okay. And number 10 does not exist. Why what? Yeah, they're forgotten, Jacob. Okay. So, whoops. Okay, never mind. Fashion influences people on an individual scale. Look in someone's closet is a look in their mind. It reflects who they used to be, who they want to be, and who they are now. Whether it be something they bought on impulse because it was on super sale, or a garment of clothing passed down generation to generation. Each clothing item tells a story. Subconsciously or not, someone's personal style is always done with intention. Fashion goes further than a superficial interest and has an impactful effect on self-confidence and identity. As we all have been taught from a young age, first impressions are crucial. How you are perceived impacts the interactions you have with other people. Clothing and style can say a lot about you, communicating your personality, interests, and social status. Clothing also serves as a form of protection as it allows people to determine how much they would like to reveal about themselves. Even small interactions with people might affect someone's intentions with their clothing choices. Comments about approval or disapproval of someone's outfit can influence their choices in fashion. For example, like if a teenager, if they were complimented by a peer on their outfit choice, I feel like a lot of you can probably relate to this. they may feel like compelled to repeat said outfit choice in the future. Influence is multi-directional, and fashion influences not only the individual, but also the culture slash individual influences fashion. The example mentioned earlier with denim being traditionally worn by working class people and then worn by people protesting against economic inequality to show solidarity with laborers proves this. The impact spans economics, revolutions, entertainment, and personal lifestyles. Fashion, much like any art form, exists far beyond the surface and is both a personal language and a reflection of society, proving what we wear is not about clothing, but rather about expression, history, and meaning. My process for this project, I made the really smart decision of doing 2 e-school classes at the beginning of this year, as well as participating at Appleton West Theater and their drama club, and taking a Renaissance class and having a job on top of that. Yeah, ew. And I kind of, I mean, I did enjoy that, but also, like, I wish I would have done it earlier and not senior year, but whatever. Because basically, all that was on my mind was all of those plus my senior project, and it was, like, kind of really stressful. And I did a lot of procrastinating, and I also did a lot of last-minute stuff, too. For my notes, I attempted at doing them digitally on a Chromebook and my iPad, but I really hated typing them, so I decided instead to handwrite all of my notes, since I preferred scribbling them down in cursive instead of typing them down. For live sources, I was able to go, as mentioned earlier, I was able to get Appleton West's theater director, Miss Whittle, as, you know, she was going to pursue costume design, but, you know, settled on theater. I had attempted at contacting a professor from UW Stout through alumni Ash N, as well as Meg Reichenberger, but I got no responses from either. But I was able to go to a Hot List Crescendo fashion show in Milwaukee with my mom at the beginning of January. I also attended a virtual meeting in December on how to curate your closet 101, which was hosted by Melinda Jordan, which I feel like, I don't know, like, I could, like, go a little more into that, like, what are you doing? Okay. Which I could go a little more into that because she did, like, really, like, talk about, like, some really useful things. Like, first, like, kind of go through your closet and, like, find items that, like, obviously you don't wear anymore. And also, like, when you're buying something, focus on quality rather than quantity, because fast fashion is a really big issue, like, in our society. And I don't know, I feel like that I've kind of become more aware of, like, in my time, like, because I'd rather just, like, buy something for the same price if I know I'm gonna wear it and I know it's of good quality versus a bunch of clothes that I'll probably, like, look at once and then, like, never touch again. And Melinda Jordan, she's also the founder of the website Rebloom, which has some more stuff on, like, how to curate your closet and stuff. And also, as I mentioned earlier, I helped out with designing costumes for Izzy's play. I literally just went to, like, Appleton West's costume shop, and I also I made, like, the actors in the play, like, fill out a form, like, oh, like, shoe size, pant size, shirt size. So then when I was looking for costumes in the thingy, like, I knew what to find for people. And yeah. And I also had people bring, like, their own stuff as well. And also, shout out to Echoes for letting me borrow their walker for one of the props. Yay.
Yay.
Uh-huh. And I didn't go into this, like, before, but I also made a Pinterest board for the costumes, so then I could, like, kind of get a visual as to how I wanted the costumes to look. And I also was like planning on making my own. I'd sort of made a rough fashion line called Clean Calico. I like calico critters a lot. And those outfits were thrifted. I also used a Pinterest board because, okay, I completely forgot about this last source, but I used a masterclass. I did a masterclass with Tan France, and he had mentioned like to curate your style, like make a Pinterest board, like choose a bunch of photos, and then narrow them down like gradually to like go like, oh, you know, I like this, that, and this is kind of what I came up with, and yeah, I forgot. And low-key, looking back, I wish I would have done my senior project on general art stuff instead, because taking a step back, reflecting, in recent years, I've been more involved in like just general art stuff instead of just like illustration or like painting or whatever. As like I've mentioned before, my junior and senior year, I've taken a total of 3 Renaissance classes, and I also joined Appleton West Theater Department and Drama Club, and I will also be partaking in Appleton North's Summer Shakespeare program. And I also like to dabble in miscellaneous art projects that include sketches, obviously, digital art, and miniature house making. For future plans, I will go to college at Fox Valley Tech this fall, and I will become certified in cosmetology. And once I am done with my cosmetology course, I will take the master esthetician course at the Tech, and I will get certified as a nurse to do Botox injections and lip filler and needling and stuff. I'd like to thank the advisors for their support. Miss Whittle for like being a live source. She's not here right now. She's leaving this fall. I'm so sad. Anyway, my family and my friends. Thank you. Any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Elsie?
What was the thing with San France? Like, what was it? Like, what did you do?
Elsie just asked like what my course with Tan France was about. It was like about curating your closet, and like it gave like tips and tricks as to like how to do that stuff. Is there anything in specific that you
Like, how did it like work?
it was like sort of like chapters of like videos, if that makes any sense. Like there were different sections like how to do this, that, whatever. I would 100% recommend masterclass, by the way. I've done it like 3 times in my life at BNS, but it's easy, it's low-hanging fruit. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Danny?
What's your favorite
Danny asked, what's my favorite fashion? Honestly, I like minimalistic fashion. Yeah. And Aiden.
What type of fashion you consider overrated?
Type of fashion, like, okay, I might get hate for this, but I hate affliction. I'm sorry, it's so ugly, it looks so cheap. Like, I can't, like, I guarantee you I could find the same thing on Shein, and it's so overpriced too, and it's so ugly. I'm sorry. Papa?
What is your favorite color?
Gee, I wonder as I haul around my pink backpack and yeah, pink coat, pink Converse, all that. It's pink. I don't really discriminate like on the shade of pink or whatever. I just like pink in general. Laura?
Now that you've been through this whole process and all your years at BNS, what is like the one piece of advice that you would give to everybody who is still here?
Okay, so my mom asked, since I've been here so long, what advice would I offer to like VNS students generally speaking? I'd say like a word of advice is get out there. Like the world is bigger than VNS. Like go out, do experiences. Honestly, like some of the best things that I've done like in my VNS career have been like I know I've already mentioned this like a bajillion times, but like going to Japan, doing the CARES summer research program, what else? Like doing theater at West, like I really think those have been like my highlights of my high school career. No one has any more questions? Elias?
What's your favorite fruit?
What? Elias asked what my favorite fruit is. Strawberries, easily. Aiden.
If no one else is gonna ask it, advice for future seniors.
Advice for future seniors, don't do all of the stuff that I did don't do drugs either. But yeah, don't do all of the stuff, like, try to focus, like, on your senior project, like, for, like, at least, actually the whole time. Don't have a bunch of things going on at once, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Declan?
What's your second favorite color?
That is a great question. I'd say it'd be like a tie between like brown, light blue, light yellow, light purple. Yeah, just pastel colors.
Wait,
Actually,
your favorite color?
huh? Miss Ludke.
How would you describe fashion today in America?
Over consumerist and capitalist. Yeah, that's what I would describe fashion as today. Okay. Lily.
Favorite VNS student?
Me. Yeah. Beatrice.
Let's keep the questions progressive, please.
Aiden.
What is something that you wish you had done on your project, didn't get the chance to?
Probably like some more like live source experiences, like that fashion show that I went to. I wish I had done more of those.
What's your favorite like
Time period, low key, the 2000, like I'd say it would have to be like the 2000s or like the late 2010s, but like a specific like subcategory of that fashion. Like not galaxy unicorn leggings, no, absolutely not. Aiden?
If you could take inspiration from another place on Earth's fashion that you could bring here to the United States to be another new mainstream part of our fashion, what would you take and add on to our place?
Okay. Mainstream. Low-key, some of Japan's mainstream fashion, that's like also, I've been to Canada, which is basically just America 2.0 in a way. I haven't been to Mexico since I was like 5, so I don't really know what's changed there. And Japan is just like the most recent place that I've been to, and I low-key like some of the like stuff they wear on the regular. Yeah. Danny?
Do you like the YN fashion?
I'm not answering that. No. Dexter.
If you could have one item of clothing that has ever existed within your possession, what would it be?
Dexter just asked what item of clothing I would have in my possession. Honestly, that's a great question. I would have to think about that. Aiden again.
How did you go about the process of coming up with your project and going out and like doing rough drafting and stuff?
Okay. Aiden just asked what was like my process on like with my products and stuff. Well, from the beginning, like ever since Izzy said that she was gonna do like a play for her senior project, I knew that I wanted to like help her out with the costume design and stuff. So, you know, I like that was basically just like already set, cause you know, and also like the other products, fashion line was just like something that like I kind of like came up with myself, and I was like, it is a fashion project, like might as well like, you know, like make a fashion line or something. Yeah. Anyone besides Declan? Okay, it's like 3:10.